Katka, I think I can say you're really incredible example of what can happen when you approach business energetically and when you lean into feminine energy. Lenka Lutonska here, author of Energetic Selling and Marketing, of course. And do I have a wonderful treat for you? One of my dear mastermind clients, Katarina Ruta, who is a guide for women for a happier and more fulfilled life in Slovak and Czech Republic. Now, I got the privilege to get to know Katka over the last 6 months. And of course, I was amazed even before she stepped into the mastermind. And now like I'm double amazed. The work she's doing is incredible. The leaps, the quantum leaps she's created just over the 6 months are incredible. And she is, Katka, I think I can say, you're really incredible example of what can happen when you approach business energetically and when you lean into feminine energy. So I wanted to bring her to you so she can share her wisdom, her tips, and what helped her to build really 7-figure business under 3 years online, and most recently create a massive leaps, including 500K cash month, etc., etc. Like, you know, many people call her Rocket, right? You must have read it as well.
Yes.
All right, Katka, I probably didn't give justice to your introduction, so do you want to add to it?
No, Lenka, thank you for invitation. Thank you for having me here. I'm very excited. As you shared in the email, it's actually the first English interview for myself. So I have kind of joy fear, I must admit.
Yes, we like joy fear. And I really thank you, because I don't know if you're about to share that, you know, you're looking to expand beyond Slovak and Czech market into international market. So I love this, that you come out of your comfort zone and share with us what's inside of it. There's so much. Okay, Katka, so let's start here. You have this incredible business. You're like super famous, we can say, in Slovak and Czech Republic, and you're making so much difference for women and gentlemen, of course. But of course, I don't think it's always been this way, you know, that the life was great, business was great. And so can you tell us where it all kind of, you think, started?
There were several times in my life where I would say it started. First of all, I wanted to share that my very background, like my family background, is very average, I would say. I'm a normal girl from a small town with normal working class parents, so I didn't get any like special education about business, finances, something like that. No. So I was just going to normal schools, etc., etc. But I always felt like there is something more for me, that the life I saw the people around myself were living, like just running all the time, being very busy with their work they usually don't like that much or hate it at all, just not having enough time for their relationships, for time with their kids, or so much stress around finances. So somewhere I felt like maybe that's not the path for me, but I worked through those steps I was supposed to do, right? So I studied high school, and then I got university degree, and one was not enough, so I got a second one, and I found a great job. I was a host in a radio, so, and I got married. I found a husband, so everything looked like perfect, but inside I was not happy. I was not fulfilled. I didn't feel like this is how the life should look like. So I was employed for about 3 months, when I just felt like that's not a way for me. So I was thinking and like trying to find ways how to work out differently. But at the same time, what happened was that my relationship that was supposed to be the one, and the you know, happy ride ever after, just started to fall apart. And at the same time, I started my first business. What was I was always educating people in a way. And one of these 2 degrees is photography. I study photography in Prague. So I opened up a school for how to teach people how to do the photography, how to photograph. However, it was successful in a way, but I still was like in red numbers or at 0, and I didn't really know how to do it. So at one point in my life, I just ended up in a rented out apartment, just about to divorce, living just by myself with my cat, and literally not having a clue how am I going to pay my rent and all the people who were working for me in that business. And I felt really like very, very down. I felt like, okay, like this is now not how my life supposed to look like there must be something more. And I remember that moment when I was really, really like sad inside myself, because everything what I hoped it's going to be the happy life turned out very opposite way, actually. So at that time I was lying in my bed and just petting my cat, and my tears were running down my cheeks, and I felt like, okay, now something must change. Like, I don't want to live like this for the rest of my life. Like, please, somewhere, if there is someone listening, just send something to me how I can change my life. And then, of course, suddenly I came across one person who advised me some spiritual courses, and then it was like my business colleague, my photography colleague, and then somehow I found like online course about abundance mindset and money mindset. So I started to shift slowly. So that was the background. Yes.
So you must have made some crucial decisions in this period, isn't it? Would you remember what they were?
I absolutely remember, because the one single most important decision I made at the time was, I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be truthful. I'm going to be true to myself and everyone around, because what I realized was that I was just building up a life, that I had this idea that this is how it should look like a successful career and a marriage and 2 degrees, red diplomas from the university. But at the same time, I was building up, I call it a picture of Katarina, which was not really aligned with who I was on the inside.
Right.
And I think that fell apart because of I just didn't have the energy anymore to hold the picture of myself showing to the others anymore. So what I decided at the time, like, I'm going to have really authentic, truthful life, even if it means that I'm not going to have a boyfriend or a husband anymore. I'm going to work something that people will not pay me for. There was also like, I felt like it was not at exactly the same time, but soon I felt like I need to work with women mainly. I need to do this spiritual work. I heard the calling, but my very first women's circle were not circle, because 2 women came, and in the middle of the circles, one left saying, oh, sorry, Katka, this is not for me. This is not what I expected. So I ended up like with another woman, not even creating that circle. But at the time, I also made this decision. Yes, this is my calling. This is what I feel like is my path. I'm going to do this for this single woman. And if it will change her life, that's fine, even if I don't get paid. So yes, there was this decision about being very authentic and true to myself. So that was and by the way, that's the basic of my name. Even like Katarina means the same base as Katarzi, by the way, what means pure and authentic. So I felt like this is my path, just fulfill what is given already to me in my name.
Yes, that's incredible. You gave me so much goosebumps there, and there is some powerful prerequisites for building the business energetically and very successfully. So no masks, and you seem to have committed to that vision, no matter if it's just one person, no matter, so that is so important, because I do remember from my own life as well, when I was going through a period of struggle, it's really that knowing that if you have that vision and calling, that it must be, so believe in it that more than that reality now that is not working out at the moment, right?
Yes, and there was one more important thing, like when I already stepped into this spirituality field, let's call it, like self-development, I saw everywhere people with like special abilities, like reading from Akasha, speaking to angels, having this ability to, you know, clairvoyance or write down the special drawings. And I was trying to find my own like gift, something like very extraordinary, something like, yes, I want to read from Akasha or something, but I wasn't able to do so because I didn't have any such a gift. So I remember celebration, like a New Year's Eve celebration, where everyone was doing like this spiritual stuff, like reading from Akasha and I don't know what else, speaking to angels. And just I felt like, okay, I am not able to do any of this. So I just decided to be myself, just be very normal, authentic woman without any special abilities. And I will just share this to the world. And if someone comes to my courses, then they come. And if not, that's okay also. So it also was another like a stone on this path to authentic self. And that's something I feel my clients really appreciate, me being very open and very honest and just sharing what I'm going through in my lives. And that's also a lot of shit in there. It's not just like, you know, rose petals and unicorns. So that was another point on this path that I feel was very important, just deciding to share my authentic self, although it was not like super special.
Beautiful. And this requires, of course, self-acceptance and willingness to open up. And this, of course, creates a huge amount of relatability and trust with clients. So I would say that's one of those, if you like, magic ingredients of course, your success, but also generally speaking for us women change makers. So that's beautiful. So how did you then get from one woman in your circle into where is your business today?
Actually, in a way, it happened by itself, because when I was in this divorce phase, I was trying to find a way, something that would guide me, help me. And I didn't find anything at that time in Slovakia. It's like 13 or 14 years ago. So I didn't find anything. So I went for some time to US, to New York, just to have some distance, make some decisions. And I realized there are some self-development centers in there that people could go and see different people, teachers. And I was like so excited that I came back. And I was like, maybe that would be great if something like this happened somewhere around me. And of course, like the intention is the mother of action. So what happened was some of friends who were organizing of workshop for international teachers asked, like, Katka, you have this huge atelier where you teach photography. Can we use this space for creating a workshop? So basically it happened by itself. So I created a self-development center out of my atelier. So this is how I actually transited from teaching photography to just giving the space. And I felt like, okay, now it's my turn. I need to do what is my calling. So I started to do those online, not online at the time, offline courses. And I just kept doing it. And next time came 5 women, next time 7. And then slowly it started to spread, and they were just sending their friends and recommending me. And somehow within a few months, or maybe a first year, I really came to a point where it was very fulfilling in my life, and I had a clientele.
Wow.
Growing. Yes.
Amazing. And then it was about 2.5 years ago. Is it that you transitioned your business online? So can you tell us about that? What led you to that?
I'll be happy because there is a funny story behind that. I felt the calling already because I'm quite good in feeling. So I felt like, yes, I want to go and reach out more women, because women kept writing me, Katka, I cannot come to your workshop because it's too far away. I have kids, this and that. So can you do in any other form? And I felt already like this is happening, but I was resisting because I felt so comfortable in doing in-person workshops. I was doing it for several years. I knew my way, I knew my path, I knew how to do it. So I was resisting. And then what happened was that I was in 6th month of pregnancy with my 3rd kid. And I had very well planned the in-person workshops until the delivery time, more or less. But what happened is that one day I slipped on puree. It was like apple puree that my son spit it out. He was like 1 year at the time. And I slipped and I broke my ankle. So basically, I couldn't postpone those workshops because I knew I'm going to have a baby, and I couldn't do it in person. So the only way out was doing it online. So this is how I created my first online course. I just didn't want to cancel because I felt also some kind of responsibility towards that women. I wanted to, it was like a program of several weekends. So I just didn't want to end it up in the middle. So I was like, yes, I have to do it online. So it was more or less like from somewhere within. And that was, of course, the best thing that happened because it was just 1 year before the corona hit. And at the time I already also like a coincidence because I didn't know how to do the online stuff. I didn't know the technicalities and stuff around that, but somehow in my email ended up a program offer from someone I heard of very long time ago, but I never, sorry, bought any small product from him. And this was 1 year challenge. It was like a millionaire challenge. And it was about like creating the background of the online business. And I just signed up. It was a ton of money at the time for me, but just I felt, okay, yes, I want that. So I literally got the tools into my hands. And also the timing was perfect because my daughter was born and I spent a lot of time breastfeeding and putting my baby to sleep and just being around. So I had always my like earbuds in my ears and just listening to what he was sharing or he was teaching. And then I just done small steps. Really, like, I think mothers have this super special ability just to do what is necessary and not to bumble around too much. So I was just doing those steps like 80-20, which were necessary to move a little bit forward. And I remember like the first course I launched after this initial one, it was called Key to Man's Soul. It was about relationship, how to understand how men are wired and hormonally set up, and it's different to us, and how to understand their weird behavior in a context. And it was a huge success at the time for me. It was like really, I earned around 40K within 2 or 3 weeks, and that was just mind-blowing for me. So it was step by step somehow. But sorry,
go on. But
yes, still I was hitting some kind of glass ceiling all the time. Like it grew to a certain point, but then I felt like not really stuck because the business was running well, it was really stable, I knew how to do the launch, I knew how to do evergreen stuff like that, but still it was just flat, it wasn't growing really. And I felt there is something missing. I'm missing a part in it. I'm missing something really, really important. And I didn't really know what was that. I just had this feeling like there must be also another way how to do it without this, launching all the time a new product and put more work into it. Just roll up your sleeves and just do more, because that was the male way how he did it, how I was taught to do it, which worked until a certain level, but I couldn't break through. And of course I made a wish and intention, like I want to move forward because I know there is more for me. What means that is more for my clients. I can reach more clients, I can serve even more, but I have to find a way how to do it. And then Lenka stepped in and I just I had your courses bought for some time already, but then somehow I just felt this is the right moment and I stepped into EGA, and just it was like a really like light bulb above my head, because I was using that principles in my everyday life. I was using it in my relationship, I was using it in my health, in my overall well-being, but I never actually thought about using the energetic principles in business. So that was something that made a huge difference in my business. So it's also like first phase was before Pavel and after Pavel, and then second phase is before Lenka and after Lenka.
I get you. Okay, beautiful. Would you share a few key moments from the last 6 months that help you to take your business to entirely new level?
Yes, the quantum actions are truly believing in myself when it came to quantum actions, because we are taught to think a little bit before you do something, or think even more before you do something. And when sometimes a crazy idea comes up, we are just taught to, think about it more, look at it from different perspectives. Maybe you can postpone, maybe it's not a good idea. So this is how was I approaching to some of the ideas that popped up in my mind. But with you, I learned to really recognize what is my quantum action. And I started to take those actions, no matter how crazy they looked or they seemed. And I was just really step by step doing it. I was just doing it. I was just doing the ideas that they came to me. And I was something really, really super scared. Like when it came to me, I should double the prices. Like there was an internal monologue in me, like, what do you mean double the prices? You cannot, like everyone will turn their back to you, like you will betray your whole tribe, stuff like that. So they were, these quantum leaps, first of all, was maybe moving to Bali. We planned it for some time already, but then the way opened up. By the way, it was like 2 weeks window when we could leave, and then it again closed. So it was like just perfect for us. So we left Slovakia and went to Bali, where we are from end of May now, and still remain for a few more months. And then yes, just launching actually is the very first online course I created. I just added up and adjusted it a little bit, and launched it one more time. And there was a lot of like expansion to me, like really stretching myself with first charging twice that much than I initially intended to charge. But I felt like, oh yes, this online program has that value because it has great results. Women are reaching out to me saying how they change their lives with this program and stuff like that. But I still was like worried a little bit, and I had some limiting beliefs around people not having money, cannot afford. So that another quantum action for me was like really doubling the prices. And there were a few more that I took, like with that launch you mentioned at the beginning, the 500K launch. There was a great quantum action that seemed very crazy to me at the time, but I will share it because this is how sometimes quantum action looks like. And just before I launched the offer, and there was a 5-day training where I wanted to launch an offer of like a package of my online courses, one even not existing, without a name yet. I just had the idea I'm going to create a course about abundance and like really wealth mindset, because I was working through that a lot, coming from a working class background, having all these limiting beliefs around money. I worked through those years like a lot. So I had this intention. So I created a package, and then I just was about to launch it. So literally I had a zero on my account yet. And there was the quantum action saying, pay to the team members you have just now working on you on this project, 3 months, 3 monthly payments extra, like a bonus. And at that time, with a zero on the account from the training, that was a stretch. I was shitted, really. I was like, what, like, what do you mean? Like 3 months? Oh, that's a lot of money. But I did it. Yes. But I knew already from previous experiences, no matter how crazy this idea seems, it's a thing that comes from the new level where I'm trying to get. I felt like it's coming from a point where that amount of money is almost nothing to me. So I felt yes. And it was like a question, do you want to get there or you don't want to get there? And if you want to get there, just show. So that was another like huge quantum action for me. What I did, I just instantly said, in front of my computer and just did those transfers and just sent the money before even having €1 on my account from the training.
Wow. So this is extremely powerful because, of course, our gorgeous listeners, they will be familiar with the concept of quantum action, but actually taking that quantum action, that's a whole new different thing, isn't it? And truly, that is almost like the true commitment to the universe within. I mean it, you know, so I am willing to listen to my intuition, and no matter what it is, I'm going to stand by. Is there anything that kind of helps you to actually trust it? Because this is actually a huge issue or problem or challenge amongst women entrepreneurs, to actually trust themselves, trust their intuitive thinking, trust, you know, that what is that idea, that actually go for it. Did you develop it, or would you have any tip on that?
Mm-hmm. It was through experience, I would say. It was through, even if I look like in the past, I was doing that already, but I wasn't really aware that it's a quantum action, and it always worked out somehow. I remember once we traveled, we didn't even have kids, with my current husband, who is not the one I was divorcing. So we were traveling, and our suitcases didn't arrive. So there was a whole story around that. But at the end, we ended up in a store where they had like really, really London-made beautiful suitcases, which costed like €300. For me at the time, it was unbelievable amount of money for a suitcase, if you could get a suitcase for €20, right? But I have a very wise and supportive husband that I must say that is a really, really a thing that also helped me a lot. I didn't mention it before, but that's this huge support we have in our relationship. Maybe we come to it even. But he said, okay, and that's a really wise sentence, like the money will go away anyway. Like the €300 you have now, they will go away anyway. Like you will not keep it. So at least buy the suitcase and you have something you really like, because if you have something you really like, it has no price tag, right? It's just you buy. So I was like, yes, no, I cannot. My mom's, you know, voice in my head, like, oh, what are you doing? And then this another voice like, oh, but you really want it. So I bought the suitcase. They give me some discount. So it was like 270. I bought that suitcase. And I went out of the store. Literally in that second, SMS beeped in my phone, and someone paid me €270 for something I already forgotten that they owe me. It was that same second, and I was like, "Whoo!" That was something. So I had already experience like that I was trusting myself with the shifting. Also, when we traveled to Bali, we decided to travel first class because with 3 small kids. And that was a stretch also for us at the time, like a big one, like that amount of money for 5 people, first class, it was around, I don't know, 6,000 or 7,000. That was like really, really a big thing. But we, exactly this, how I see it is always the question, like, do you want to get to that point where this is normal for you? And when the response is yes, I want to, and it feels right, and it's not like, it feels wrong, it feels right, just the head talk is avoiding it. That helps me a lot always. So through small steps, I was just developing this experience that it always works. And of course, we paid the tickets within a couple of hours. My husband is working with crypto. Some coin he bought just went up 3 times. So we had literally like 20,000 back in that very moment in like a couple of hours. So this experience is really like, you start to trust it even more and more.
Incredible. Do you want to make this your normal? I love that question. Yes. Take note, everyone. Okay, beautiful. So of course if you like manifested attracting your incredible husband along the way, but I also know that your business and your business success created some relationship challenges, you know, at the time. Would you be open, please, to share what was it and how you,
yes,
what happened? Yes.
Yes, I manifested my incredible husband by a way that I said I don't want any other relationship just now. Like just forget all the men. What was the best way to to attract a man? I was like, I'm done. I'm done with men. I don't want to see any men like in relationship at least for a couple of years. And literally within 2 weeks, 2 months, I met him. But I was like, no commitments, no relationship, no. What was good because he was used to having women around all the time, wanting him, going into relationships. So it was the perfect setting. However, what I truly believe is that if you have the right partner beside you, next to you, it always will bring up the most unhealed and hurtful emotions you have within yourself. I truly believe that the true love will always help to surface something what is not true love. So it was very difficult at the beginning. We loved each other very much. The love was huge, the attraction was huge, but we were both like strong personalities, quite stubborn, quite used to have life in the way we wanted. So it was a lot of tension at the beginning. And also because I saw my parents in a certain way of relationship where my dad was the one who was earning more money and my mom was earning some money, but my dad was in charge and he was the one who was deciding what we can buy and what we cannot. And I remember my mom, hopefully my dad will not watch this, but I remember my mom secretly just hiding some money so she can buy some magazines or something she wanted. And at the time I felt like, okay, so I have to do it differently for myself. I really need to be independent financially in my relationships because that is something I don't really want. So that was important part for me in the relationship, being the one who is safe, who has, own sources. But on the other hand, I also was longing for a man as a woman. We have it inside, it's biologically coded. We want to have a provider. We want to have someone who is providing security and safety, what includes also the financial status and financial safety. So there was a conflict. On one hand, I wanted to be independent. On the other hand, I really wished for my husband to provide for us and to be the one who takes care of our kids and family, and also for him. Of course, at that time, as I was already earning like nice amount of money, and it was not so easy for him to create something equal or more. And there was a lot of frustration in the relationship because there was a concept that the man should earn more. I didn't want to give up my business and what I was doing just to let him earn more. That didn't make sense to me. And he was trying, and the harder he was trying, the less success he actually had in what he was doing. So it was kind of difficult thing. And of course, I was afraid that it's going to hurt our relationship in a way. So there were a lot of fears I had to work through to allow myself to earn more. And then, of course, we came to a point, it's not such a long time ago, we both surrendered in a way. He surrendered to, yes, it can be so. We can be a case where the woman is providing the financial security, but I can be the man who is providing the safety and the integrity for the family. That was a very important point for him and for myself also, because he was always, and he still is, like a backbone to our family, someone who is holding it together. Because I'm a woman, I tend to be emotional. I would be divorced like 20 times already if it was just up to me. But he's the one who is holding the family together really in an energetic way. He is the one who is doing the vessel itself.
Yes.
So
that's really powerful. So in other words, you let go of the stereotypes, what women should do and what men should do, and you really allowed yourself, for both of you, to step into your divine masculine and feminine nature, because really it's the feminine, the one leading with feminine, that creates, that makes money, clients, ideas, etc., and he's holding it all together, provides the space, time, security, stability, etc. Incredible.
Yes, and I also had to work through this idea that I am only secure when I earn more, that that's the only way how I can be safe in a relationship. So it was actually opening to my own vulnerability. Like, yes, I can be in a relationship and I can be safe there. I can trust my husband that it's not going to be the way I remember, that I would have to ask for a couple of bucks or euros to buy something I want. I can trust we can have a different type of relationship and I can be safe even if I don't earn more than he is earning. So it happened literally like in the same time. He surrendered to, okay, maybe it's a different form of masculinity. It's not the form like I am the one who is providing it all. And I surrendered also to my femininity. Like, yes, I can open to being vulnerable and being like dependent in a way, but I have to go through a lot of old stuff and old limiting beliefs and hurtful feelings, and it even went to beyond my birth, and there was like things that were hooked, and energy was hooked even before that. So it was a lot of work, inner work, but at the same time it happened. And of course what happened was that suddenly, miraculously, he found his passion, he found his way, he found a way how to earn and provide and do something he loves without losing time with us. That was another one of my fears. Like, once he's going to be employed 9 to 5, I'm not going to see my husband and my kids are not going to see their dad. So there was another reason why I was holding on that model we had. But I gave it up and I said, like, okay, if that's something that makes you happier and you would be like more fulfilled, just go. And this is what happened, was that he is doing, he's working with cryptocurrencies, what is a new paradigm of really like new consciousness wealth, I would say. And suddenly within a couple of months, it just turned the other way around. He's even bringing more abundance to our relationship than ever before. So this is how it worked out.
Absolutely amazing. Brilliant. Well, now money mindsets. I know it's a huge thing and part of your success. You have a course on it, right? Or a new course on it. So could you tell us a little bit what role it plays in this, and just a little bit about, about that, how it supported you?
The money mindset, the work, you mean?
Yes.
Of course. Yes. When I look like 10, 12 years in the past, I see myself as a prototype of living limiting beliefs around money, because I was working, I had my own business. Like, I was teaching in school, I was having this school, I was doing photography, I was doing like event photography. So I had several jobs. I was working for TV, going there. So I had several sources of income. However, I was always like zero or minus. I was not able to save any money, invest any money. It was always going somewhere. And I had all these limiting beliefs around money, because I grew up in a family where there was a lack of money, really. And my mom used to tell me, oh, you're tall, dlhá, it's long at the same time. As a week before the payments, the salary. Yes. Mm-hmm. So it was always this setting of like, there is not enough money, there is not enough resources. It's better to be poor but happy, and the rich people are not happy. But I felt like, and that's another funny thing, that I remember myself being a child and not understanding. I was asking my parents over and over, like, how come we don't have money? Like, why? I don't understand. It's very natural to have money. Everyone has money. Why we don't? So I didn't understand. There was already something in me that felt like it's very natural for us to have the money. But then I saw in my environment and society that it's actually not natural. So I learned a new beliefs that it's not natural, and it takes a really hard work, and you cannot do it in a proper way. You would have to bend your character a little bit to earn money. So but I decided, really at that time, I decided, like, I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way how to do it without sacrificing my soul. On contrary, just using my soul gifts, I'm going to do it. I'm going to find a way how to do it without sacrificing all the time I have, because you can work 15 hours a day and earn tons of money, but what for you have it, right? So I was like really working on my money mindset. I took million of courses. I've read all these books about wealth, and I was just working through the limiting beliefs one step ahead. And I think I developed a certain methodology, I would say, how to do it, how to even recognize that you have a money mindset that limits you, how to understand. For me, I'm a practical person, and I really, really need to understand. Just the woo-woo work, like, yes, you don't have to know why is that, just and it's gone, never worked for me. So I had to understand why I believe so. And another thing was, and in general in my work, not only in money mindset, very important part of my work is acceptance that what is happening is not something you have to fight, because also the money mindset and the limiting beliefs were there to protect me, were there in my favor. That's not something you have to fight with, really, because you created it for yourself to protect you. So I compare it to, I call it Kevin, like a Kevin Costner from the movie. That's your personal bodyguard. All these limiting beliefs and these, programs that you run, you create it for yourself because you believed, or you have it in your lineage. You believe that it's safer to not have money. That was my case, because my grandfather had a shop and he had land, and it was all taken away from him when the communistic party came. So there was a belief in our family, like, it's good to have a little, but if you have a little bit more, they will take it away from you. So, but I understood that everything we believe, although it's a limiting belief, something negative, that's fighting is not a way, because if you fight, you create even more resistance, more tension, more unpleasant feelings. But accepting and realizing that I created this to protect myself. I created this Kevin to protect myself, and I gave him some instructions and orders some time ago, and I forgot, but he is still fulfilling my orders in a way. And I have to be the one who says, okay, you have off now. The time is over. I don't need you to protect me anymore, but in a loving, accepting way, not in a fighting mode, then change a lot. So this is how I approach it. And I try to teach also people, like, it's for you. Also, the limiting beliefs were there for you. You just have to find a way how to understand why you created them. And it's also same in health, in relationships, in any other field of our life, why you created that and how to lovingly let it go. So this money mindset course, it's called Moje nekonečné bohaté ja, what is like a little word play, because it's like my endlessly rich me, and at the same time it means my finally rich me. So that's the name of the course. And it's going to be exactly about lovingly shifting your money mindsets without like big struggle or fight or big hustle, just in a very gentle, let's call it feminine and natural way. So I'm very much looking forward. It's already packed. I have already the plan for the modules and what I'm going to share. So it's going to be very powerful, and I believe it's going to be magic.
Yeah. And you've got a lot of people signed up already. It's going to be
already huge. Yes, already for the first round. When I was selling it as a part of the package, there were over 500 people who signed up. And then past week was another launch, part of the launch, because I always launch in like stages. There was another launch and another 250 people signed up, and still few more coming. I have a webinar coming next, and then I plan a challenge which will be free on my Facebook page. So if you want and speak Slovak and Czech still in those languages, you can join. And I believe also, although if people don't sign up for that course, I share a lot of free stuff and give a lot of value, I believe, to people.
Oh, you have incredible structure in your business. Incredible, Katka, because, you know, I've had obviously to look at, you know, what you have, and you serve people at all levels. And now obviously you upgraded yourself. So you're taking clients who are ready for it to yet another new level. It's absolutely incredible. So I know this is the course in Slovak language, but still,
Yes.
What is the best place to connect with you, to find out more, etc.?
It's whether on my webpage, katarinaruna.sk, still SK, but I was just about to say katarinaruna.com because the webpage is already creating.
Yes.
Soon it will be out, it will be released. And as you said, I know it's the calling, and I know the calling, and I don't want to break my other ankle to fulfill that calling. So I'm already starting to do English speaking videos and give more of the content in English as well. And but for now, Slovak and Czech speaking people can connect with me via my page or Facebook, where I'm mostly active. There is a group for women. There is another group called Brána k bohatstvu, Gateway to Wealth, where we especially focus on that topic of mindset and wealth in many areas of life, not only financially. And I have a profile and a page, and I post a lot, and I do weekly free videos on different topics. So there is a lot of content.
Yes, but you have also Facebook page now in English, yes, which is new.
Very new, very few content there, but if
everyone who is listening, can you do us a favor? This is a little bit will be nudge for Katka, and I thank for her time. Isn't she super generous? On Facebook, find Katarina Ruta. Is that correct?
Yes, Katarina Ruta, and it's called International, but I will rename it somehow. But I just needed to differentiate those profiles, which one is for Slovak speaking and Czech speaking audience, and which one is for English speaking audience.
Okay, beautiful. Yay. Go and find it, like it, follow it, because that will be also, you know, a little bit of, all right, let's do this, because you have got so much, Katka, you know, it really gives me goosebumps, you know, when you are now expanding your impact even more internationally, and shouldn't she so. Look, we've got plenty of comments here, probably plenty of questions. But I think what we've got is super rich already. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your time. All of you are super important. We're creating something, remember, beyond us, something much bigger. Katka, do you want to leave it with any message for our viewers?
Would be a lot, but maybe the most important is just listen to your callings, because once Lenka told me there is someone calling you. Like if you feel the calling and you hear the calling, it means that someone is calling you and they're waiting for you. And I know there is also like English speaking audience waiting for me. So thank you for inviting me, Lenka. Thank you for having this chat together, because it makes me feel even more comfortable by doing so. And of course, it was a big decision for me to step into Lenka's mastermind. It was right away. I knew I'm going to be a part of it. And of course, it was a huge support for my business, because I found a way how to combine the male masculine knowledge from the structure and the feminine knowledge from the energetic work. And for me, it really created like not just a step, but like rocket difference. Thank you so much.
Likewise. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. Bye-bye for now. See you around.